The other ones didn't take me too long, and a lot of those were like around 80 minutes too. Wasn't the last two episodes of season 7 82 minutes?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Well, the big problem is next week's probably won't be too bad, but the week after, fucking hell, that and Avengers. But the week after is the big battle. That's gonna be a fucking nightmare for you to edit.
Wait, next week? Oh shit! Wait, the longest episode this season happens that same weekend that Avengers happens, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the battle.
Yeah. Ooh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Between
episode one.
them and the Nightwalkers. That's that night.
Episode one was that's gonna be a lot of battles that weekend. Episode one was 54 minutes. Episode two is 58. Episode three is 82. So 4 is 78. 5 is 79, and 6 is 79. So.
And they should have released this in July. I think it's a bad time to release this.
Nah, fuck it, dude. April's a great month. April's a great month.
It's a great month.
April's a fantastic month.
I don't know about great.
Nah, I love it.
Just because there's two movies that are really well, I don't know. I don't know if Endgame's good. we'll see.
All right, well,
I'm not going to immediately say it's good.
All right, so we've been recording for a minute. What's up?
Yeah,
this is your spoiler cast. You introduced this.
That ain't mine. I ain't doing shit. You do it. You and your wife beater? What the fuck?
Fucking
all right, fine. I'll do it. What's up? All right, there you go.
That's Gore. You know his
discussion.
You know his channel.
No, shut up. All right, welcome to the spoiler discussion. We're talking about Game of Thrones, season 8, episode 1, called Winterfell. Right? That's
they didn't even say the name in the.
It didn't. Yeah, it was weird. I had to look it up. I was like, all right, Winterfell. I thought maybe they were just saying screw it.
Are they doing that just to like avoid spoilers for that episode, or they just didn't update it in time?
Maybe. I mean, this episode there's no spoilers.
No, I don't think they did. Cause I'm pretty sure. No, I know the first 3 episode titles had already leaked like a couple of weeks ago.
But if they leaked, that's different from when they're actually announcing them.
Yeah, because
that's the thing. I don't
remember
if it was a leak or they just straight up just said revealed it.
They didn't say anything because nothing's updated.
Yeah, because HBO Go didn't have it. It just said Game of Thrones. Like, was it? It's just a Game of Thrones season 8 episode 1. Game of Thrones. That's what it said. I was like, is the episode called Game of Thrones? Like,
that's gonna be an episode. That's gonna be the third episode.
It has to be the last episode, right?
I think that's what they're having all the networks do to avoid, well, all the cable providers, I should say. That's what they're having them do to avoid any spoilers.
Sure. I mean, this is HBO Go, so I watched it straight on HBO Go, so they're probably doing that for themselves.
I'm Adrian. That's Chris over there.
How the fuck were you able to watch it before it crashed?
Let's give introductions.
Wait, what? I don't know.
I didn't have a crash.
I'm Gore.
That's Gore. That's Casey over there. I didn't have anything crash. I literally just loaded it up and it was fine.
Yeah, no, it was fine with me. It doesn't matter. I put the names.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, just in case someone's watching in their car, not looking at your name.
I don't know why. Well, first of all, they shouldn't be watching it in the car because this is a video.
Yeah, okay. You know what they do. People these days don't care. As long as they don't crash, we're good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, and if they do, it's your stupid fault.
You can sue GorTheMovieGod.
But for the guy right now driving, watch out! All right, there you go.
Was that for Kyle?
Jesus.
I don't know why
Deer! Deer!
What if you actually saved that? What if there was something actually in the road and you called to watch out?
You're welcome.
I just saved the deer!
I just saved the deer.
I'm Dr. Doolittle.
So for the next couple episodes, these are spoiler casts going up every Monday, right? Every Monday in the morning?
Yeah, Monday. I'll probably put it up like maybe 12? 12, okay?
Sure.
12 my time. And that's noon, obviously.
Yeah, so...
Not in the morning, but long enough where people are up.
Right.
They're like, oh, that Game of Thrones episode sure was all right.
I like how people are up at 12 o'clock for you.
Yeah. Well, no, they're awake, and if they don't have work or anything, they're out. They're on the computer. They're smiling. They ate breakfast.
And then you got your own reactions going on.
At noon.
And you have your own reactions that also go on to pretty much like an hour after the episode.
Yeah.
You're trying hard to.
I crank them out quick.
Yeah. I'm curious how views are going to be on that. They should be pretty good.
Let me see. Negatives.
I don't know. I got removed from
I lost views. Pretty good. Stocks are up. That's for sure.
So this is for episode 1, Winterfell.
Winterfell, because it takes place mainly in Winterfell. Actually, not really mainly, but most of it.
Most of it, for sure.
Yeah. The significant portions of the episode are in Winterfell.
Right.
I'd say maybe 10 minutes of it took place elsewhere.
Yeah, and like
Cersei. There were King's Landing.
Yeah, there were just a couple other places, but mostly in Winterfell. This was definitely the reunion episode.
Reunion, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be called reunion.
That was one of my notes here, but let's give quick impressions on what we felt about the episode before we delve straight into it, because obviously it's a spoiler. We're not gonna beat around the bush and not spoil it. You should have watched it by now, for sure. But what do you guys think of the episode? How we starting off so far?
I'll go first, I guess. It was good. It was a good beginning episode. I think it would have fit better if this was like a 10 episode season. You know, like something like this where it's like slow. There was one big reveal that we already knew, but it was a reveal for a character. Obviously, we'll get to that. But when it comes right down to it, it was just a lot of like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a couple seasons. I haven't seen you in a couple."
It felt like they kind of cut to the chase with a lot of stuff real quick.
They definitely did, and
just like last season.
They did, but this felt like, and not that it's a bad thing because we know this, but it felt slow for an episode that we're on the final stretch. Like, we're like, damn, there's shit's gonna go down in the next like month, and we're just barely getting a reunion. So it's like they need to go like, and they're talking about it too. Like, we didn't see any of the White Walkers, but like there's like, and we saw a little bit actually of it, and we'll mention that. That was a good moment.
I just want to say that was fucking nightmare.
That was some straight out of Hellboy.
It scared the shit out of me.
But this is definitely like a setup, and they were like straight up like, yeah, hey, the White Walkers like right back there, man. We gotta hurry. But we didn't see them. But I mean, you could tell they're like, hey, we need to go.
Peace out.
So you thought it was good, Casey? What'd you think?
I was surprised at is how much. How should I say it? I'm surprised at how much happened in an episode where not much happened.
Right. It was a lot of character moments, but nothing that.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of character development, and now we think about it. Probably this week and next week's episode is really going to be the last bits of real character development we get, because basically after episode 3, it'll probably just be starting to close out everyone's stories and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get a death scene. Actually, I guess we kind of did with like one character that I guess was in last season. I don't even remember that kid. But besides that, like I was expecting maybe like this one to end like, all right, we gotta start either getting rid of characters or like, whatever.
I didn't think
put them in more peril.
They were gonna do that with this episode, because I feel like they want to avoid that.
Right.
And they want to save it, because now it's mostly a lot of the big characters that are left. So they want to save a lot of that for like the battles and whatever comes afterwards.
We're losing a lot of motherfuckers in a big cluster soon.
Oh yeah.
Like there's not going to be. We have literally. If we lost, I think we're going to lose a lot of characters by the end of this
Shit, I think we're going to lose it.
But
in the next few episodes, we're going to lose a lot of people.
I think we're going to lose a lot.
Yeah, and even if we pace it out, like let's say like 12 characters, because we know a lot of, like we know enough for there to be 12 characters we can name. Let's say 12 characters die. We can't piece there's like got to be 3 characters per episode from here on.
I wasn't saying that.
No, I know. I'm just saying like as like just a show of where we're at with this series is that we have 5 episodes left. We have a good number of people are going to die, meaning one of these episodes is going to be fucked up. Yeah, I
think multiple episodes are going to be fucked up.
Did either of you guys ever watch Lost?
No.
I watched the first 3 seasons.
There was an episode in the final season where like one episode where 3 of the main season 1 characters that had been there the entire time all died like that, and it was like, god damn. And that's what I'm feeling. We're gonna get like just one episode. We're gonna lose all these motherfuckers like just fucking easy. So
that's what I'm saying. I think when the battle hits, just everyone's gonna lose their fucking minds.
The cool thing is that actually we'll save that. I'm gonna put a note that what I was gonna say, but I thought the episode was good. I thought it was a great introduction episode, especially for people that were out 2 years. Not all of us went back and rewatched this, but
I think it was 20 months since the last new episode.
Yeah, I really wanted
August 20 something. I think
2017
was the last episode. Yeah,
yes.
I was looking at my reactions. It was the last one I put. So.
Yeah, so almost 20 months. Jesus Christ.
I really wanted to do a big watch beforehand, but didn't have the time, and I wish we knew I wish they solidified a release date really early. That way we could have did a whole countdown where it was like, all right, we'd watch one a week, but they didn't tell us the release date for a while, and I was like, I'm not going to commit to that.
Yeah, but a couple weeks ago they did like the producers and a few of the cast members put out like the whole list of these are like the 6 episodes you should watch before.
Yeah, I don't like that though. I like the I don't I like to keep that
Yeah, I don't like
quiet
that either.
because I like the idea that everything's cumulative and not that I have to watch a certain core. That's what I kind of feel with Endgame too. Is the Russo brothers said that you have to watch these core movies, which I mean you could probably guess which ones, but I mean they said these are the ones you should rewatch, and I don't like that idea. I like the idea that hey, everything, even if it's not involved, I like in my head knowing that everything we've watched is it's gonna matter in here as opposed to like
Well, there's definitely moments.
Right, no,
but
I
a lot
think
of moments from our episodes, but those
Yeah.
are like any like big moments. Those are the ones you should keep an eye out for.
I also don't want to do that because every one of those episodes I'll be thinking of like little
Yeah,
little
no,
things
that's what I'm
that
saying,
I'll be
is
like,
that-
well, that's gonna come back into this season.
Right,
now,
if there's
'cause you
like-
told me I should watch it.
if there's something that's like right there, you're like, oh yeah, you'll overthink it. So
Yeah.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah,
I would have just
I don't want-
preferred, hey, just watch
Also, I mean, I want to do other things. You know?
All they say is-
I already watched these seasons, bro.
it. All they tell you is watch the Red Wedding again. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and every time I do like one of these reactions, I have to watch it again, editing it. So I already watched. I watched the episode like this one, to be fair, quicker than usual. But I watch them twice usually,
Right.
and then I watch everybody else's reactions. I don't need to watch.
Yeah,
I
the
don't need to watch
usually when I watch
it.
reactions too, I get a good memory about that. I did watch a
Yeah.
quick hour-long recap today though, just to get everything kind of
I watch a couple
Yeah.
recaps.
just to get everything kind of going again because there were a few things that I had to remember everything.
But
But,
there's still so many characters that even when the I was like, all right, I watched a couple recaps too, not hour long ones, but a couple like short ones, and I was just
forgot.
like, all right, here we go. And the episode started. I was like, all right, what's her name again?
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
I
yeah.
watched. I did that because I watched Easy Allies put a thing out today where they're like they did.
Oh, did
Did
they?
you see what they did? They did a time capsule where they edited
Oh, okay.
everyone saying here's a list of everyone alive who's gonna die by the end of this, and they all did it individually without anyone looking at each other's things, and they're gonna watch their own to see who got the best at the end, and they didn't even watch who edited. They just put it
Didn't
all
watch that
together.
one yet.
Yeah, it was. But then I watched it and I was like, who the fuck is that? So I was just like, I gotta watch the recap. But yeah, because some names are just so close that like Missandei, Melisandre, and-
Braun and Bran.
yeah,
I
some way.
still fuck that
Yeah.
up.
They're both two
Oh,
very
my
different
boy
characters,
Braun.
though. Why is
My boy Bran. Like, I don't know. That's not my boy.
All right,
Bran's
so-
not my boy.
So let's go and recap this. Well, I'm gonna recap this, and then so let's just recap, and then we're gonna just go back and go through it again as opposed to piecemeal. Or do you guys want to talk about everything as we go down the list?
Sure, we can talk about everything. I think.
Okay,
that's
we'll
fine.
do that then.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I love the intro. They had 2 years to work on the intro, and you could tell they're like, all right,
Yeah.
let's just make it all like pretty much brand new. It was so
Right.
cool to finally see
It was cool, yeah.
because I feel like we're so used to like the exact nothing's really changed, in the last like 7 seasons of it. Like I mean, obviously there's little things that change, but for the most
Yeah.
part, we're so used to seeing King's Landing, and there's the wall. The wall for the first time was just fucking a hole in there, and just like flow
Yeah.
through it. That was great. We got to see the tombs there, and then it ended on the
Well,
throne.
it's also something that really, I think everyone really realized with this episode, especially with everything taking place at Winterfell. It's just most of the main big name characters of this series are now all together.
Yeah. So are you guys
And
ready
it's
for?
basically 3 locations. It's the Wall, Winterfell, and King's Landing. Those are basically the 3 areas. There's a couple spots here and there, but
Are you
for
guys
the most part, it's those areas.
Are you guys ready for when Winterfell eventually gets taken over, and we go through Winterfell for the first time, and there's nothing there? Because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what's gonna.
Something's gonna happen. We're gonna
I will
see
say
fucking
this though.
nothing there.
I did like the intro, but I wasn't like blown away by it because they do that all the time.
But
with,
it's a lot.
the
It's
intros.
very different though than the last one.
Oh yeah, it's a lot different, but it's
Yeah.
been so long since I watched the last intro,
Oh,
and I
okay.
noticed like the wall and stuff. Too many things to remember, so I was watching it and I was like, I'm just appreciating the song again because it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Theme.
So if you rewatch it,
and I will say like I remember like when season 7 when they put back it might have been end of season
when
6.
they put
When
the
what's
thing
his
back
name
down on
take-
Winterfell.
Yeah, they put the thing back down on Winterfell.
Yeah.
That was like bigger. I was just like, oh shit, that was like immediately they put it back up. That was good.
Yeah. No.
This one's like 2 years later. So,
you should rewatch it because it was definitely like a lot of things were new. Like a lot
Yeah,
of it was
Well,
very
the
much
big
new.
thing was it, going inside Winterfell and King's Landing in the intro.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It ended on a throne, which I thought was fucking
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
where we need to end.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
and
So.
that's the wall. It's cool.
Intro was cool. So we start off with Arya standing outside when everyone else rolls in, which if you watch the video afterwards, they explain that's pretty much a flip from when Arya was a young girl. when she was the girl that was running through everyone, trying to go see everyone marching through. So it was a cool reflection of how far Arya's gone. We got everyone pretty much That's a big reunion. We see fucking everyone together, which is super cool.
It's barely a reunion though. It's more like Arya just looking at all these people that she knows, and it's just like, oh yeah, that person. Oh yeah, and then she sees the Hound. You're like, oh shit. I thought she was gonna like start walking backwards.
their relationship is so bizarre. Like I
love the relationship.
Yeah, it's so intriguing though. 'Cause I can't even get a read on it sometimes.
Well, it makes sense. I think the Hound is just more impressed by her.
No, he is, but you can tell it's a relationship where he wants to kill her, but it's like he doesn't too. He wants to protect her too. Like there's so much conflict in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I think at this point it's not even that he wants to kill her anymore. I think it's at this point it's like he's basically become like a proud father, where he's like seen all the shit she's going through, and she's just risen above all of it. He's just like, fuck it. Even if I wanted to, I can't kill her.
Yeah, she had some awesome trainers. He was the best though, for sure. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Sirio? That was the guy that taught him how to dance.
Yeah.
He was cool, but I mean the Hound.
He got fucked up early though, so.
What was that one time where he was just like, all that matters is whatever and a big fucking sword.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
My man.
Oh man.
So this. My man. This was a reunion. Once they all settled down, this is where you guys see John. John saw Bran and got the whole, hey Bran, oh you're not. What the fuck?
Well, there were two things I liked about that section. Was one, I don't know why I remember it, but the way John reacts where he sees Bran, like he runs up and kisses his forehead. I don't remember why I remember that, but that was the same thing he did the last time they saw each other when he said goodbye.
Right.
So Bran was like, all right, that's a nice little thing.
What's his name's the guy giving the White Walkers the babies.
And then I also loved.
Was that the last time? No. Bran saw him. He didn't talk to him though. Yeah, I know. All right.
But and then I also loved. I think it was episode 1 or it was maybe 2 or 3 where Arya's talking about how much she loves dragons and like how curious she was with them in the with the skulls in the basement. Mm-hmm. And then the dragons fly over, and you just see her just for a moment get super excited, just that she finally gets to see live dragons up close.
Right, that was a cool like little show of, hey, I'm legit, because Daenerys. They also mentioned that too was Winterfell is not a very welcoming area. They're very much secluded in their own right.
Yeah.
So obviously welcoming a Targaryen in there is like very much like, what the fuck, and then and we'll mention more further on where how people are unhappy with Jon about that, but.
Well, they don't like anyone who's not from the north because everyone that's not been from the north has basically stabbed them in the back at some point in history.
Yeah, so they're justified with that, but it was also just Daenerys wanting to flex on.
Seeing a Targaryen pull up at the Lannister doesn't make them any happier.
Right, but then seeing Daenerys kind of flex in front of everyone and just looking up at her dragon, just smiling, it's like, yeah, you can't really fuck with that.
Right.
And then so we're all inside now. Everyone's kind of seeing each other. Jon saw Sansa again. And this is where I pulled up that Bran sees Jon, and then my first note in here is Bran no bullshit, because he's just like he's standing there, he's like, hey yo, they got your dragon, they're coming. And everyone's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Give Jon a second, bro. He's like,
Bran knows. Bran looks back. He's like, Bran just looks off. He's like, we got 5 episodes.
Daenerys, we got 5 more episodes, bro.
Brand's got full on like I see eternity and it sees me. He's got like full just PTSD instantly.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Like I get you can see everything, but you could be a little less of a douchebag about seeing everything.
That's interesting.
Imagine he spoiled Endgame right there because he can see everything.
You know what? I respect it.
Thanos wins again.
Fuck.
Hell yeah.
But I was curious too, because I was wondering what the reaction would be when, and I'm sure we'll still get a reaction obviously when Daenerys sees her other dragon that's fucking gone full White Walker. But it's curious. It's interesting now that she's got a heads up that like, oh, fuck.
I just think there's a little. One thing I want to say is Bran. I was about to say Bran. Bran.
Call him the 3-eyed Raven.
Is I don't like him. I really don't like him. I think his character's kind of lame, and I feel like he's kind of in there just to be that kind of character that like throws out exposition and that's it. He's just there to like, all right,
Well,
we need to tell her this, we need to tell them that, I need to tell them this. I get it, but I
agree with you, but he's also one of the characters that they've been toying with possibilities with their with different storylines.
Yeah.
Where it's like him having some connection to the Night King, and like there's also been a storyline where like Dany's going to become the Mad Queen and stuff. And so I feel like he's one of the ones where they're doing that, but it's more of just as a placeholder until whatever plan they have for him actually kicks in.
I find him to be, even if they do have a plan, I don't think his attitude's going to change in the next 5.
Oh no, he's really still going to be an annoying prick.
Yeah, he's really. I don't like that kind of character. I don't like just like really bland when it comes to personality, and that's supposed to be the reason why. I don't know. You're supposed to trust him, I guess, is because he seems like he's no bullshit, you know. But I just don't. I don't think that actor quite does it as well as maybe even like who is the Max von Sydow who played the Raven? Is that what they're called? The Raven?
Yeah, Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah, the Raven. Well, yeah, the Three-Eyed Raven. So like he's supposed to be that character now, pretty much, right? Yeah. He's supposed to be the Three-Eyed Raven. Mm-hmm. So like even with Max von Sydow, I get he's an older actor, so it's just I don't know. That kind of.
But even Max had a bit of personality to him.
Yeah.
Like he felt like the old grizzled master teaching the apprentice. He didn't just sit there as like a fucking depressed, anticlimactic little asshole.
Yeah, and Bran has had personality before. You might not like him when he was a kid, but he was adventurous. I mean, I know he can't do that anymore, obviously, because of his legs. But in the first episode, you immediately know he's adventurous. He's climbing up stuff and whatever.
Doesn't that speak more to how well he's doing it, though? Is that he went from being an adventurous kid to now he's literally not that kid anymore. You know, he is someone else now, and he's playing a whole different character because of that.
Well, I don't think he's doing it well.
But it's also he's not that. Part of that is, like Chris said, he's not that kid anymore because he literally can't be that kid anymore.
That too, and I just don't think the actor's fine. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that character mixed with that actor is perfect.
I get that it looks like an exposition character because he does just happen to do things. But at the same time too, I feel like when you think of like the backstory of the Three-Eyed Raven, where they're literally living this, and they see everything. It's like, at some point when you see everything and you know everything, what do you have to react to?
I know. I'm not saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying
when he sees his brother though.
That's not his brother.
I know, but he knows that. I get that, but it's still somebody he knows. How about his sisters? I mean, that is his sisters.
Yeah, so, like show a little happiness, but
and I get that
because he knows everything. He's like, oh, I knew they were alive the whole time. Doesn't matter to me.
No, but it's not his sisters though. This is Bran's body. That's not Bran though. So why is he going to get excited for people he doesn't actually have a history with?
It's supposed to still be Bran though.
No, it is Bran.
It's not. He even mentions it multiple times. They say this in the series too. It's like that's not Bran. Bran's dead.
No, but it's still Bran. But it's Bran. Basically all the knowledge has changed him to a different person. But it's still Bran with all the thoughts, all the memories, all that stuff. It's just because basically the overflow of information has completely changed his mind and personality. But it's still him.
The way I look at it is more that Bran is dead.
Now.
Yeah, it's a different person, so I don't see. Especially
he's a different person, but he's still Bran.
Metaphorically, he's dead. And literally, he's not.
And when you want to like justify it that way, is too is if he sees these people all the time, just all knowing, seeing them here is not changing it because he's seen that already. like.
I get it.
No, I know what you guys are saying too.
I don't find it a captivating character.
No, we can complain that's a dumb reasoning. I'm just saying that is the reasoning.
Why he's not a bad character, but I don't think he's a bad character. I didn't say he's a bad character. I just don't find him.
No, I get that. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fair.
There's
that's
many
totally
interesting
fair.
characters in this show though that I don't even care if that one.
No, that's
one of very few weak ones.
Right. No, that's fair. If you don't like it, that's the reason why you don't like it. I totally get that. I just think
I know.
I understand where it's coming from, and I get that why he's not doing that.
Yeah.
If
it's true that he's supposed to be dead now, I don't think it was. I remember a conversation where he said like I'm not the same person. I remember that. Didn't he say that to Sansa or someone? Or
I feel like I've heard multiple times that's not Bran and this is a different person now. So I would take that more literally as opposed to.
Well, that's the thing. It's a different person now, but it's still Bran. It's like I said, it's everything that's happened. It's changed him, but it's not like he's now possessed by some fucking demon or some shit. It's still him.
Yeah. When you also think about like, in general, when you think of just stuff like if anyone comes back from like any sort of like real physical trauma, it's like they don't always get happy when they see someone they know too,
I
It's
get
like
that, but I'm just saying that isn't
I
interesting to
know.
me.
No, and that's
Yeah.
fair. If that's the argument that you don't find interesting, that's totally fair. I get that.
I
I'm
totally
just
get
making a
why
justification
he
as to
acts like
why.
that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's why I understand why he's not doing it. That's why I'm
Yeah,
personally
I
not affected by
understand
it. But if you
too.
don't
I
like
just
it,
don't.
yeah,
It doesn't make
I
it
don't
any
like
less stupid.
Yeah.
to
I
you,
wouldn't say it's stupid. It's just not. Again, it's just not interesting.
Right.
I just don't find him. Every time they show him, I do find it funny that he's always in the same spot. At least in this one episode, where he's just like right in the middle of the entrance of Winterfell.
Yeah, no,
He's just like Xavier from X-Men. Just like he's just like.
I
What's up,
find
man?
it interesting
everything.
just because it's so out of the bubble of what we're used to, right? Because we are used to charismatic characters and doing all this, having so much personality. Seeing someone just so stiff and just kind of like almost an all-knowing being it's interesting to me because it's different. But it does not jive with the rest of the cast sometimes too.
I would agree with that if he was interacting with more of those kind of like. Not charming, but like some of those more hyperactive characters, like like the Hound.
No, I will say
to the Hound. I would love to see.
I will say I think hopefully next episode with Jamie seeing him because so far the only closer interaction we've had were with the girl that saved him. I forget her name. Where he's like, I don't need you anymore. Where she was left, that was something, and then like it's always just been the Starks that kind of looked at him. Yeah. So we haven't had. I don't think. And I think out of all
I doubt they're gonna do anything with it. If anything, they're probably gonna do something along the lines of give him closure.
But if I'm saying
whereas like they face off and Bran's just like there are bigger things to deal with. I forgive you and all that. If it wasn't for you, I couldn't get these powers or some shit.
So what I'm saying is that the Starks, not discredit them, are not necessarily the most charismatic ones. Like they're more the toned down neutral ones. So maybe that could be it. Now, and even Jamie on the caliber of like charismatic, he's charismatic, but not like goofy like where the Hound or like Bronn are. So obviously we're probably not going to get to that extent. I'm very curious where that's going to lead, but we'll get to that at the very end. So anyway, after that we had Tyrion and Sansa had their little discussion there, and that was
I like those two together.
Their little conversation by little like about 30 seconds.
Oh, they're making a Tyrion.
Well, I mean,
joke.
I like the little like last time we saw each other was at the wedding. He's just like yeah. And there's just like there's some interesting bits in there. Right. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. and I feel like Tyrion should at least have said something about like, hey, I took the rep for that. I almost died.
Something's gotta happen with him. I'm hoping there's something comes up with that meeting with Cersei that they cut off last season. Because they just, for the past, 3 seasons, he just got put on the back burner just so bad.
He'll make plans.
Which sucks. Because, for the first 4 seasons, he was, hands down, one of the best, not even characters, but also best actor on the entire show.
Yeah. I mean,
and then then when he left King's Landing, it's just, his whole character went to shit, but just got put on the back burner, and it's just so depressing.
I have a feeling he'll probably make some plans, for battles and stuff, just like he did with, what was it, Blackwater?
Yeah. I think Tyrion.
What was the other? Was Blackwater the one where he actually fought too?
Yeah, because he
got knocked out.
Was when they hit the boats and they still made it on, and he got cut across. That's where he got his scar.
I think he's also just kind of wanting to watch where he steps. He doesn't want to overstep his boundaries because he knows he's in a fucking hostile ass territory for himself. He can't do too much because he's a fucking
but even before, like I said, even the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been that witty. He hasn't been his self. He's been the first 4.
Well, that's the one immediately first joke is about balls. So
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah,
my justification toward that too is that shit's not okay anymore. We're getting like the more honestly outside of a couple characters like Tormund being goofy, which is kind of hard to see now because like I can't imagine Tormund being, even though he had the best moment in the episode, I think was I can't see Tormund being as goofy as he was when you first saw him because like motherfucker saw some shit, like everyone. Now we're at a point in this series where
on the wall
where the more goofy I see shit is less unless it's like some of a coping mechanism. I'm starting to find more disconnections with it. Now I'm not saying I've done that now, but like in the future, like I hope they walk that line because now things are getting real. Like now we're in the end game of Game of Thrones. Like now we're like
end game now.
It's like the more goofy I see shit, the more I'm like, all right, are you getting where we're at here? So that's where I saw Tyrion, because I mean that's kind of been a slow degradation of everything. Like at the beginning of the fucking series, he was great. Once he killed his dad, it was like, all right, now we're kind of slowing down a little bit. Now he's kind of trying to be a govern for all these families. He's trying to walk this line. There, I feel like it's been kind of an appropriate sort of slope down.
It's not the, like I said, it's not the goofiness I'm talking about. It's his whole personality. It's just he's starting to turn it into freaking Bran or Braun. Now I'm doing it too.
Bran.
Yeah, he's turning to Bran. He's slowly losing his entire personality and just starting to be this monotone character. And it's just the last 3 seasons just getting progressively worse and worse.
Yeah, I see. I understand his character development more than I understand Bran's. Again, I understand Bran's. This one I totally get more, where he's not as jokey and as charming and stuff like that. Because I mean, he hasn't seen the kind of shit that like Jon or even Daenerys has, but he's been through shit. And I get that this is more serious. He knows it's more serious, and he's more of the aide at this point.
He now has he's a title. He's the hand of the queen.
Besides, he's the hand of whatever, same thing. So yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I want him to fight the other hand of the queen. What's his name? I forgot his name. The guy with the robe. He stopped.
You mean Old Man Jenkins?
Yeah, Old Man Jenkins, the guy that stopped Bronn from doing the deed.
Having a good night.
Yeah.
So
you might have seen Bronn though, because one of them had.
I will say, I know you talked about Torment, but I also love that line that he said, where it's like that woman's gonna die of the spots within a year, and he just goes, he spits out a straight. Wait, which one?
Which one? I think it was the one that was right next to him, so he's good.
Yeah.
I don't think Bronn's gonna make it out of the season though.
No.
So he's gonna die a heroic fucking death though.
Oh yeah. Clearly they set it up for like him and Tyrion and Jaime to finally get fucking reunited, and him to like fucking hero his ass and save Jaime's life or something.
Jorah and Bronn are doing some heroic shit to get out of here, but they're not living. So we segue that to and I might be getting some stuff wrong here. I might be like, or it might be wrong. I just had to remember where they were, but I didn't watch exactly where they were, so I might get some stuff miss where they're at in the episode. But we had the sort of meeting he had with everyone in Winterfell, and people are unhappy that Jon gave up his crown to Daenerys.
Yeah.
Which Jon, is like, yo, I saw some shit, and this doesn't matter. Everyone's like, it does matter. He's like, nah, this don't matter, man. And like Winterfell's a hard place for them, because I get it. I respect and I understand why they're not like, yo, what the fuck? These people have fucked us over. They haven't seen all the shit that Jon saw, like not nearly. But Jon's like, yo, this really doesn't matter. Like, we gotta chill the fuck out.
Isn't there a ton of scenes in this entire series of Jon just coming into a room and saying, "I seen shit," and everybody's like, "No, you haven't." He's like, "Yeah, I did."
But like, to be fair too, Sansa
because he has a habit of showing up and going, "I've seen shit," and they're like, "Where's evidence?" And he's like, "Wait, what?"
To be fair, Sansa has a point too, because Winterfell isn't that big, and she's got to do the Unsullied, the Dothraki, and the 2 dragons, and that's a lot of fucking food.
Well, that's a lot of food right there. Yeah, and, the dragons aren't eating too, which I guess leads us to the next scene. But yeah, no, I like what's her name. I forgot her name, the little girl who's a badass who always talks shit.
Mormon.
Mormon. Jorah's people, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
look.
Mormon. I think it's Mormon. I don't know her first name though.
It's something. It's close to that. God damn it.
Leslie.
Liana.
Liana? You said
Liana? Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lady Liana Mormont.
Mormont.
Oh, yeah. Mormont. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get why, and Sansa, like, she gets a bad rap for being kind of a hard ass, and she definitely does get that flack from Jon for a second too. Because they've always had a strained relationship. Like they're always there for each other, but they're always kind of butting heads, and they came right back, and they're right back to butting heads.
Right.
Yeah.
I did, and I'll mention this part later, but I will mention they did have kind of like a small little heart to heart at the end. But yeah, so that I understood completely, and is much.
I like the heart to hearts. It's just like she sure is. She's much prettier than the Targaryen king.
So
like the Mad.
Right, and then we jump to King's Landing, where Cersei gets told that there's fucking not that much shit for her. Like the forces that Euron acquired for her is not nearly as much as she thought it was, and Euron's fucking with Yara inside, and
it wasn't. I think it wasn't so much that the forces weren't as big as she hoped. I think it was just she didn't get the elephants. She really wanted elephants.
She really wanted an elephant. I really wanted those elephants, she says, after banging Euron.
But we're jumping. So Euron's taunting Yara, being like, I'm gonna go fuck the queen. Literally, he follows up with fucking.
We're the only ones with balls anymore in this family.
I like that. We're the last Greyjoys with balls. Yeah,
with balls at least.
Yeah. Well, the ones.
So then Euron goes and talks to Cersei, gives the whole spiel, and I think, what was my other note here? I put Euron's still slimy. The way you fucking look at him, man, it's like, God, what a fucking greaseball, man.
Oh, he's great.
Dude, him and Cersei are like the power couple, dude. Like, fuck yeah.
Cersei's gonna kill his ass. Right?
I love it, dude. It's like, oh man, I hate both of them, and they're together. It's like fucking. I hate them so much. I like them.
What do you mean?
But
you hate him?
Oh man, I hate those two
He's
together.
He's great.
Dude. No, they're slime balls. Like, I hate them in that way. But
Euron hasn't done a single thing that I've hated yet. Like he's killed the Greyjoy guy. Like, I don't give a fuck about him. I'm gonna kill his ass.
The way he looks though, it's so rock star too.
Yeah, I know he's great.
I know it's fucking. It's perfect.
That actor, I really like.
He's owning it. Yeah, he's owning it.
He was in Overlord. Like, he was the Nazi guy in Overlord. The evil one.
I'll look
No, the main evil one. Remember?
I don't remember.
You don't remember him? He was great.
Dude, I'm terrible. I'm the worst with fucking actors, dude.
Face Off, like in Face Off.
I'm the worst with actors.
He turned into a monster man at the end and fought.
I know that character. I didn't even piece them being together.
He's great in that. Pilo, I think his name is.
So then Euron's kind of talking shit to Cersei. Cersei's kind of being witty back to him, and then fucking Euron just has the fucking right words to slick right past it, man. And you knew they were gonna fuck. And then she walks back, she walks away, and then she stops and looks back and just smile, dude. Just like, yep. Looks at the mountain when he walks right past, dude.
Oh yeah, well he stops and just it wasn't much, but he just stops and taunts the mountain just a little bit.
Yeah, the mountain's gonna rip his ass in half. Usually, what that happens whenever you taunt the mountain, he comes back and does some heinous shit to you.
So
remember that one guy that was talking shit about the queen, and then he gets his head bashed into the wall. Yeah. I think it was like season 6.
Right? Yeah, that was fast too. That was fast.
Yeah, it's like he's like done. He pisses on his shoes before. So good.
So
so we don't get an extended fuck scene, but
no, but you see some pants getting put on. Shortly after that, you see Yara gets freed by Theon. And appropriately, after Theon releases Yara, she just fucking headbutts him and says, "All right, we're cool." And they get out of there. Which, this is the one moment that I felt like these are the kind of moments where you could tell in like prior seasons it'd be a lot slower of a draw, and like they would kind of work towards freeing her. But now it's like, we don't have time, so we need to fucking just free her and get there, get in, get out. So this is where this is like parts of and I can't really fault them too, because like I said, with Game of Thrones, it sucks. It sucks where the producers and directors and everyone involved with writing this show are stuck at, because they signed on to adapt something, like they're really good at adapting shit. Like, the first couple seasons are fucking phenomenal with adaptation, but like they never signed on to this to write the ending, like they had no intention of writing the end of the series. So I get
George R. R. Martin's lazy ass.
It sucks. It sucks. Like, I see it, and because let's be honest, like the writing has taken a bit, not like a nosedive, but it's definitely taken a hit since the earlier seasons for sure.
Yeah, it's taking a little.
And it feels like
here's the thing, though.
Rushing. I don't know.
They're rushing because they don't want to do it.
But like, how many shows have gone? I'm not even gonna say have gone 8 seasons. Have gone 4 seasons or more, and still have writing this good. That still have episodes that are consistently this good.
Well, no, I'm not trying to say it negatively. Like, I mean, I think up until we got to the content that we don't have in the books, that's where they started writing it. And it's not to take away from them, because one, you're not adapting anymore, you're finishing off someone else's story, which is always the hardest thing you can do, because you have to get in that person's head and figure out everything on your own. And not to mention, they're not getting like play-by-plays from George R. R. Martin. George R. R. Martin told them, hey, these are like some of the plot points you got to hit, just hit those. The way you get to them doesn't matter. So there's definitely moments, like I think specifically like scenes with that fight scene in last season where they had like all the badasses go out to the snow. that was kind of choppy. It's like, oh, like what's his name? Gendry just fucking runs back, and I don't know how the fuck he runs back.
Yeah.
Gets Daenerys, and Daenerys goes all the way back to save him. Like in that span of time, like
the Jesse Williams of Game of Thrones.
Stuff like that. It's like it's not bad writing. It's choppy writing, but I'm giving them an excuse because. Yeah. I'm giving them an excuse because
Jesse Williams is an actor. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm giving them an excuse because they were not meant to write that. They were meant to adapt it. So they're not writing. Right. It just sucks for them because I'm sure they were like excited to like, all right, we're gonna do this, and then George R. R. Martin's gonna do his shit, and nope. So and the reason they're rushing it is because they don't want to extend it longer than they need to. They want to get in and they want to get out. They want to keep its legacy. I think they don't want to tarnish their name by being those ones that kept everything going and going and going.
Yeah, they don't want to be The Walking Dead.
Well, yeah, I also think it's not even they don't want to drag it out. I think it also comes to I don't think that they thought it would go on for this long. I mean, like I imagine they probably thought it might finish up around season 6 or 7, but as they were going on, they realized there's just so much that they can't do it in the time frame they wanted.
I wouldn't say that. I think they knew what they were doing. You'd have to know what you were doing if you were pacing it out like that much you did in the first couple seasons.
Yeah, you don't plan. You plan for 3 seasons, and that's really it. Anything beyond that, like they didn't come into this planning 8 seasons.
I would argue
that's a death wish.
No,
I think they planned to do the books.
Yeah, they planned to do the books,
and maybe they planned it to do it in shorter seasons, like not shorter seasons, but like maybe they planned it to be like. First couple seasons, 10 episodes, and then maybe branch out from there. Then a couple of shows do that where it's like 6 episodes, then 10 for season 2, then 16 for season 3 or something like that. I could see them thinking maybe that's what they want to do, but HBO is really keen on that 10 episode season. They really like that. They really like 10. I could see that, but I don't really, to be honest, I don't care.
No, I don't know. I think they knew if they were writing for 5 or 6 books that they knew they were going to go for a while, especially because the way they pace it out to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, having spoken to people who've written shows and stuff, I don't see them planning it past a 6th season.
But that's the thing.
So I think this has gone beyond what they were expecting.
But that's if you wrote a show, though. They didn't write this show. They're just adapting it.
Well, they adapted it.
Right. So they know about how long they're going to go.
Tomato. It's basically the same thing.
Well, I mean,
they know where it's going.
They have
an idea. They still have to write the show, but they just have something to base it off of. But they still have to write it.
But when you're writing your own show, you gotta have a story bible as to what this show's universe is gonna be. You have to pitch everything you're gonna be. Like when you're pitching a show, you pitch from season 1 to episode 100. You're like, all right, that's what you're pitching. You gotta pitch that. That's how all pitches for shows go.
With that, you do 3 seasons. You don't go to 100. You go to episode 30.
They pitch you to 100. They pitch you to episode 50. They pitch you to episode 100. That's when you're pitching a show. That's what they tell you. And because that's that, they have the books to base off what they're pacing at. So I mean, every show does not go in there knowing their landscape. Every show goes in there with the longevity of what it needs to be. Like that's how they pitch shows.
I know that. I'm saying I don't think they planned on it being this long.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So. Yeah. Then we had the scene with Bronn. Bronn got it on with. There had to be that one scene, right?
Well, all right. One thing I want to say about the scene that I loved is just
what did you love about the naked scene?
Bronn. I love Bronn. First of all, obviously he's my favorite character. But
you know what?
I feel like this happens all the time to Bronn. Wherever he's about to get some sexy time, something ruins it. Like remember that one girl?
Yeah, I feel like
it's
a running gag.
Yeah, the sand snakes is like, oh yeah, hell yeah, she's gonna take her clothes. Oh, she slipped me some poison, and his ass is dying. I feel like there was another scene like that, and then this one is just like, first of all, the girls are ruining it, talking about like, yeah, did you see that guy that got burned by a dragon? His face
he's like, hey, yo, can we stop?
Yeah. Can you stop? And she's like rushing it anyway, so he's like, all right, fuck. It's just
I forget. I'm sure if you go back and watch our discussion on the episode where all the people, I forget the episode name, when they all went out there to go fight off everyone. I think we all mentioned that if they had Bronn in there at that point, that's the elite crew that we always wanted. Like all you had to do was add Bronn to that scene.
Yeah.
It was like
that would have been the crew.
That would have been the crew to watch.
Yeah, except it ended up being the Magnificent Six about 5 minutes in because Gendry ran away.
Yeah.
So
that was such a fucking cock tease, man.
The ridiculous 6.
And they gave him such a fucking like a badass hammer, wasn't it? Too.
Yeah, I mean he's still like holding like a giant axe.
They gave it to someone, right? Didn't they? Didn't they lend it to someone else when he was running off?
Yeah, he gave it to the Hound, I think.
Yeah, but man, that's and I like that episode a lot still. But man, there was some parts where I'm like, you guys dropped the ball a bit. You guys need to just go all balls in and just be like, all right, everyone's gonna fucking fight. Like, don't cock tease us with fucking Gendry wielding his goddamn hammer and like give it away and make him run off. Make him fight for a little bit, you know.
Especially since that was the 3rd episode Gendry was back or something like that.
Right, and then they pull out the swords. They do all fire, and then one of them dies. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Well, what's his name dies?
Yeah.
Magic Man.
Yeah, but I was like, I kind of wish you just let him go, dude. You gotta just push it. Just make it a fucking action. We make them all live until they can't.
I mean, it was pretty badass, especially.
No, it was still a good episode.
The ice and stuff.
It was still a good episode, but I feel like they were
waiting for the ice. The White Walkers are waiting for the ice to.
That was a great episode, but I'm just like, I just kind of wish, I kind of wish they just like Hollywooded it and just be like, all right, just give them some plot armor for a little bit, just fuck it, just come on, dude. Right. So then we come back, and then Arya sees, or Gendry's making something for the Hound,
right? And
then Arya walks up and sees them both.
Yeah,
Hound and Arya get the little moment together finally.
Yeah, I love that moment too. Hound's just like, you left me to die, and he's just like, you forgot I stole your shit first, and then I left you to die. And you could tell he liked that. He was just like, you're a little cocky bitch, aren't you? That's why you're still alive. And he had a little smile too. You know?
No, he did. That's what I'm saying. It's such a weird fucking.
Well, that's the best you could probably do when it comes to smiling.
Yeah. So, and then Gendry and Arya had a little moment together, which I feel weird about, because like Arya's an adult now, but
yeah, they're adult now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Gendry was like what, like 18 maybe last time, like the first time they met. She's supposed to be like. In this world, is that the weirdest shit? Like really?
No, I know. It still feels a little weird.
That happened right after we found an aunt and her nephew fucking tongue fucking each other. It's like, come on.
No, I know.
That's supposed to be his aunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So speaking of that, we jump to when Tyrion. What are their names?
Oh, Varys,
and then
the Onion Knight, Sir Stavros or something like that. Stavros.
Lord Beric.
Davros.
Is that no Davos? Davos. Yeah.
Davos. There you go, not Stavros.
Yeah. So they're talking, and then they met, and Tyrion mentions that maybe they can run the throne together, because you see Jon and Daenerys kind of getting along down there. And that's cool. That's a cool idea to put in your head, just like maybe it doesn't need to always be just one ruler. So it kind of puts an idea. Maybe it could be just a little trick thing, but it kind of gets our mind going as to like maybe they both live, even though they're definitely not going to both live. Then we jump to them hanging out down, talking about the dragons having enough food. Then we get the whole cool moment where they ride the dragons, and this is where
John's worried at first. He's just like, I've never ridden a dragon, and she's just like. And he's like, "What if he doesn't like me?" And she's just like, "Well, it was good to know you, bro."
They mentioned.
Yeah, and then he starts making out with her. Which one was it? Ragnis.
Yeah, that's jumping up,
staring him down.
Right, that's jumping forward a little bit. They had the moment where they're climbing up there, right? And the post the whatever they call it after the episode where they had the extra stuff in. They mentioned too that Targaryens are usually the only ones that control dragons. So that should include both of them into like what's happening, but they called Jon a little slow about it. he didn't realize like, hey, I'm riding a dragon. Only Targaryens can do this.
They hinted towards that in the last season too,
right?
Where
so
the same dragon was like okay with him and stuff, and he was like keep.
So we got that, but it was like even more so because he's actually riding the dragon now.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a cool little moment.
And then he rode Daenerys right after.
Yeah, so then we get the moment where they have the cool like flight scene. It's cool, kind of flying over Winterfell.
Yeah, it was cool. How to treat you dragonish, a little bit.
Right. And then when they go down, then they have the whole moment. That was kind of funny. It was like they're kissing, the dragon's just fucking staring them down.
Yeah. It's just like, I know what you did.
I know who you are, and I know what you're doing, and I know it's wrong.
I said my reaction that he was like, I know what you did, and they cut to a flashback of him actually watching them have sex through the window too. He's just like watching them.
Yeah, the memes going around
like
is like
Tyrion was doing.
He's just looking at Jon like, I know she's your aunt.
I know. I saw the show.
The memes going around Twitter is like when your dog walks in, you having sex. Just stares at you. So we got that. Then I think this is where we jump to Tormund. Going through the fucking the horror scene.
Well, that was the big thing that like a lot of people overlooked. Like, oh hey, we get to see him this episode. No one's like, I didn't see a lot of people freak out. Like, oh, he actually survived.
Oh yeah, I figured he survived.
Yeah, no, he would not have died off screen.
Things where it was like one of the questions, like, did he survive? Did all of them survive? How many fucking survived?
I figured they would have lived. But they had the whole moment. They're all walking in, and I think my favorite line was they meet up, and then
his eyes are
Ron
blue.
Goes,
My eyes have always been blue.
Yeah,
blue. Yeah, that's good.
Then they walk in, they see the fucking horror scene right there with the kid and all the limbs right there.
God,
and that was first off that was a cool ass fucking shot right there. Then the motherfucker comes alive, and you're just like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, he starts screaming. I'm like, no, I didn't like this in Dawn of the Dead. I don't like it now.
It's fucked up, man.
Right.
The symbol on the wall is just like, that's a message from the Night King. I'm like, he got some problems.
And that's the kid that was telling they weren't gonna.
Yeah, he's in the beginning of the.
They were telling him they were not gonna side with him, and that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they fucked up. So then we jump from there, and Daenerys talks to Sam. Gives them a whole like, hey, thank you for saving Jorah. Also, I killed your dad.
I love that.
Brother.
I was saying, thank you for saving Jorah. He's my man. I killed your parents. I mean, your parents.
By the way, I killed your brother and your dad, who also hated you, and you shouldn't feel sad about me killing.
Well, he loved his brother.
Well, I will say, yeah. So I think that was a great moment. So he tells him, hey, I killed your dad. He's like, well, I guess I'll go back, and he's like, oh, also your brother.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say that to begin with? Your dad's dead? Oh, by the way,
honestly, it's one of those things. Like I said, I don't want the goofiness, but it would have been so perfect if he goes, well, at least I go back to my brother, and her response is just.
Well, that's kind of like that's almost kind of what happened.
No. But
I know.
That's not kind of. I mean, that's literally her response is just.
Ooh, yeah.
I would have preferred to see Jorah in the background going. That was fucked up though, because you really saw that fucked up Sam. And that kind of sucks too, because he's been doing his own thing, just chilling, But yeah, so he also wanted.
He didn't give a shit about his dad. He hated his dad.
Yeah, he also wanted forgiveness for actually stealing all that stuff too. So it sucked.
I love that. He's like, what would your reward be? I get a pardon for stealing books. And also a sword. He's like, but his only reward was that his dad and brother are dead.
Yeah.
All right, so you stole.
As he's walking away, she just goes, "I'll still give you the pardon."
It's like
your pardon.
Hey, so what's your pardon? Oh, I stole. Oh, who'd you steal from? Oh, my asshole dad. It's all right. I killed him.
Yeah,
I got you.
Go back
home. But they got that, and then that's when Sam decides to tell Jon about his parents. I thought that was
it's not what he decides. It's kind of Bran kind of.
Yeah, so Bran
we have 5 more episodes.
Peer pressures him into doing it.
I thought it would be more in the next episode. Like I thought they would like have one episode of him with Daenerys, like, and then the next episode maybe a little bit more with him and Daenerys not knowing, whatever, and then Bran be like, tell him, or I'll tell him or whatever. I thought Bran was gonna. To be honest, at first when Bran said like, let's not fuck around anymore earlier, I thought he was just gonna say it right there.
Yeah, but he also put the point saying that John's not going to trust me because he knows I'm fucked up.
Yeah, just saying a bunch of random shit out of nowhere.
John's not going to trust me because, to all of you, I'm pretty fucking insane right now.
Yeah. So, but that
one thing that bothered me is he starts predicting shit, and I'm like, is no one going to question this because he hasn't explained this to Jon or anyone, the whole three-eyed raven thing, but they're just going to accept what the shit he's saying like a crazy person.
Right.
Well, think of it this way: is that he had no idea of the dragon.
He said he looked. To be fair, Sam did say he didn't say like, "Oh, Bran looked into the future or the past." He said like, "I investigated or whatever." Like, I went through.
No, but I'm saying even before that, like at the beginning of the episode when Jon first meets up with Bran.
Right.
Bran just starts predicting shit. He just goes, "Oh, okay."
Well, but
there's no questions to what the crazy person's talking about.
Well, no. How would But then well, first off, it's like it's some dude acting weird. Second off, is how did he know that there was a Night King that took a dragon, that they lost a dragon? They didn't say that to Bran, so how is anyone going to actually guess any of that?
And doesn't Jon kind of believe that stuff too?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I would too. If I lit something out,
he went to the to the fucking tree too, right? I mean, he was standing in front of it, saw the tree with the face. Remember?
Right, but what I'm saying is that if I walked in and not told someone something, and if there's someone acting fucking weird and just calls out everything that just happened that no one that he should have had no idea about,
Yeah.
I'd believe that motherfucker. I'm like, all right, cool, you got it.
Yeah. True. True.
Um.
Who dat?
So yeah, so we had that moment with Jon and Arya outside by the tree.
Yeah, that was a
And
good scene.
yeah, that was a good scene. That was kind of another reason for Jon to be like, Sansa's a bit weird, right? But then Arya had to be like, no, she's got her shit down. Like, she knows what she's doing. So then Arya's like,
Well, that was also a scene a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, was the two of them finally reuniting.
Yeah, and then she had the moment where she showed Jon the weapon she kept.
Needle.
Yeah, needle.
Yeah. Also, I got
that's another thing is it's
fuck.
Jon. You can kind of tell Jon still sees her as like his little sister, his innocent little sister. Like he's still, like she says it, but I still think he hasn't fully processed that she has gone on killing sprees and she has murdered people.
I think that's still putting it lightly.
Oh yeah.
I will say, so let's go back for a second. I forgot to mention that Arya does give that weapon to Gendry to build for her, and it's sort of like a javelin thing.
Yeah,
so people are wondering, that's a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't know where that's going. Is it going to take out the dragon? Is it going to take out the Night King? What's it going to take out?
That's the thing. I don't know if it's something like that. To me, it looked like it was basically some sort of, especially with her, some sort of like medieval ballistic knife.
It looked like kind of like almost like a spear a little bit.
I figured a spear to reflect what the Night King did to the dragon.
Well, no, he said it's something. He said something that really doesn't suit you.
Right. I thought he said something else. It's Valyrian steel too.
No, he said, "Why would you need this?" And she goes, oh, so you can't make it, and he just avoids that question.
Well, he also says, like, don't you have a sword too? I remember that. And then she shows him the Valyrian steel or whatever.
Yeah, but it's sort of like something that shoots out. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's a medieval version. The ballistic knife is that British knife that had the pin in it. I think it was SAS used to use it, where you pull out the pin and it would shoot the blade out.
Right.
That's a ballistic. I think that's what she gave him the blueprints for, was basically a medieval version of that.
Well, either way, I think I'm just trying to wonder what it's going to be used for, because it's definitely not going to be used just to fuck with White Walkers. Like it's got an importance in the series. Somewhere.
Well, she's been saying for 2 seasons her target's Cersei.
Well, why would you use that?
Why would you use Valyrian steel for that?
Valyrian steel can kill White Walkers.
Also,
or it might be part of her plan to maybe try her. Many faces.
She rides the White Dragon.
She wouldn't.
Or
she
try
also
to fake out the Night King.
She wouldn't shoot Cersei. And if she kills Cersei, it's gonna be some fucking brutal ass shit that she's gonna like.
I don't think she's gonna kill Cersei.
I know it's not gonna be it. But I'm saying is
if Cersei dies, I guess.
If she did it, she wants to fucking like thrive in it. She would not shoot Cersei. She would fucking fuck with her.
It's got to be Jaime, right? Jaime's got to kill her.
That I see. I that's so obvious that I'm not.
It's a little obvious, yeah, but like it also makes sense.
I don't think it would be Jaime, because I think for them it'd be too obvious.
It could just be the Night King. Maybe he just shows up because she distanced herself from the war. Maybe the Night King goes up to, because the whole thing where it's like she's bringing troops. That's what Tyrion said, and even Sansa's like, you used to be wise, bro. What happened? She ain't bringing shit over here.
Night King kills Cersei, and Jaime kills Night King.
I don't know if Night King uses it. You know what? They should just make it so Night King wins.
Honestly, I think
I wouldn't be surprised,
dude. If that's how it ends,
I would not be surprised.
What I think is going to happen is I think
Tyrion
came up with some sort of plan with her, and I think it's it's basically planned to double cross. And I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow made up some sort of plan with like Euron.
Tyrion?
So basically have him kill her.
Euron's too.
Yeah, no, Euron would not listen to any fucking one, especially Tyrion.
I don't know.
He would if it means getting him a better position of power. He absolutely would.
don't know. I think at this point, Euron thinks he's
gonna. Don't
get
forget, he killed his own family for fucking shits and giggles, and because he didn't like how they were running things.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, pride is you're listening to a midget in his eyes. You know, he's better than that.
He goes, that fucker.
Yeah, it's a midget with power, and if it can get him more power, then he's not gonna give a shit.
I don't know. I think Euron's like that thing you just can't control. He's a wild card.
I don't think Euron's gonna be a big factor in this.
No, I don't think so either.
So many characters that
he's just an extra slime ball for us to fucking.
He's a slimer.
Yeah. All right. So then we go to
and I hope he does become a big part of the story. But
we go to
I think his ass might just get killed.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the next episode he dies.
Yeah. We go to Sansa and Jon having the discussion about why he bent the knee, you know, why he did all that, and he did the whole thing. He's like, "Listen, it doesn't fucking matter. God, listen to me. Someone, goddamn, listen to me, please."
It really doesn't.
And it looks like she kind of like hears it for a second too, and but then she kind of gives the question that he didn't really answer was did you bend the knee because you wanted to save Winterfell or because you loved her? And he kind of you saw him gulp for a little bit and just did not answer. So that's going to be an open-ended question we're not going to get. But
no, I think I think they left it open-ended because that was right before he got told, right?
Yeah. That might have been.
So I think they left it open-ended because it could have gone. Everyone's like, oh. It's love, but now it's like it could really go either way, and who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
I think it was definitely before he was told. I think when he was told was the last scene you see him in this episode.
I think it was super interesting to hear the thoughts that Sam put in Jon's head, where it was like, "Hey, you're the king. Would she do any of this for you?"
Exactly. Because it cuts from there to the Tormund stuff. So it was definitely the last time we see Jon. Anyway.
Yeah. Also. Yeah, Jon's face was the face of finding out basically his whole life is a lie. His whole life is a lie. Finding out he's the true king. Finding out, and then there's also the slight look of horror as he realizes, oh, I'm related to Dany. Oh, Dany's my aunt. Oh my God, I've slept with my aunt 4 times. Oh my God, I'm in love with my aunt. So there's like a whole shitload of emotions happening at once.
I'm sure that's going through his head. I think the ideas that Sam put in his head, I think are outweighing that. Where it's like, because I thought that was interesting. I thought it was like, yeah, Daenerys is kind of still on a power trip. You know, she's definitely like does not want to let go of these reins. If Jon truly is the king, which he is, would Daenerys willingly give up that to Jon? And that's a good question because
no.
I don't know, man.
No.
I don't think so.
She
still has a dragon, you know?
I don't think so. Dude, she's been working towards that the entire series.
Well, no, that's the thing. Way. I think so. I think she would because they've been building up, like for 3 seasons. They've clearly been building up for her to basically be like her father and go full Mad Queen. But I think with like Tyrion and them, I think she'll start going that route, and I think this is like a fake out that they're doing because they're so blatantly making it look like it's going to go in that direction that as soon as she starts going Mad Queen, they're going to have Tyrion and Jon and them reel her in and like basically make her re-examine all she's been doing. And so I think the way she is now, no, but I think some point in the near future she's going to have a big character development and turnaround that she will be willing to do that. Or they'll just say, fuck it, let's make this whole place a fucking democracy instead of a monarchy like the Night's Watch.
Well, it also goes to the fact that does Jon give a fuck? Because he knows this doesn't matter either, you know? Like, he was just going through this whole spiel of, hey, this doesn't matter. None of this shit actually matters. Does Jon use that as an ace up his sleeve to be like, whenever Dany goes a little bit too over the edge, to be like, hey, I'm the king, you know? Like, that's that. I think that's a little too rash, but then Jon's also an emotional person, so that could be something he does. Or does he just go out to it and say it right now?
That Jon's the rightful king. So now everyone wants to make him king, which means even if Jon doesn't want to be the king, he doesn't have much of a say in it anymore because he is the rightful heir.
Until he mentions it, though, because no one else is going to know about this until he
no one's going to believe him either. I mean, they're at war right now. They don't give a fuck.
Well, no, but I'm saying
to
it's all those
fact
things where,
check
like,
it. Like,
even he doesn't want to be king, but he doesn't get a say in that anymore since he's technically the rightful king. He can't just go, I don't want to be king.
Well, he doesn't want to be king, so all he has to do is
it's your throne.
You can conceal it.
Yeah, he doesn't tell it.
I really thought he was gonna tell Sam just to keep it to himself.
Like, I would totally believe anybody. If he did, because I don't think he might just keep it to himself. He might never say anything.
I think he will for at least a little while, maybe.
Yeah.
Until it's maybe Bran says some shit to Daenerys or whatever, and then maybe at this point Daenerys believes he's the three-eyed weirdo or whatever, and she believes whatever he says.
I like that.
Maybe he three-eyed weirdo, but yeah, no, like maybe like this later on in the season where he already predicted a bunch more stuff, so she definitely believes him. And then when he says like, "Hey, you're the aunt, you banging? Don't. That's naughty."
You think he's gonna be weird about it now? Do you think he's gonna stop doing
Which would be great if he catches them banging, because at the beginning of the series he caught two relatives banging and he got thrown out of a window for it. So yeah, a good bookmark to. I mean, a bookend to his story.
Right. Do you think he stops banging Daenerys now? Do you think he has to be weird about it now?
No, he bangs more. He's got a fetish.
I think after this he's gonna not.
Nah,
I think
he's gonna know something's up.
Himself from her, because I think not because of like, oh, we're related or anything, but I think he's gonna be a bit afraid of if she finds out that who I really am, is she just gonna say fuck it and abandon all of us? And what's gonna happen with the armies and all that? So I think he's gonna start he's gonna distance himself from her.
Here's the two things: does he distance himself, which causes Dany to think that something's going on, or does he keep playing the same card just to make sure that she's content and doesn't actually think anything else is going on? Because if he distances himself, she's gonna know something's up. Because like, what the fuck? He was like all with me, all of a sudden now he's not.
When it comes to when I say distance, or when I think of the distancing, I think it's gonna be more him just not opening up to her, not like literally like hey,
like avoiding her at all costs. And stuff.
Yeah, just like not opening himself up too much or whatever. Just
I like maybe a bit of the cold shoulder, but
he's not that suave though. Remember, he has like the fucking the lady moves of a fucking 2-year-old. He doesn't know what the fuck to do.
He knows a little bit better now.
Yeah. Better, but he's not suave. He's not suave enough to be like, I'm going to stay a little bit distant. You know, it's going to be one way or the other. He's either going to be like trying to avoid her at all costs and does not understand what's going on, or he's going to just keep doing it. I don't know. It's interesting because John is very awkward with all that.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I mean, he's not Rob.
So we end with we got a little hint earlier that Bran's like, I'm waiting for an old friend out here. And then then Jamie rolls up there and he looks back and there's fucking Bran staring right at him.
I love that because Jamie gets off his horse, he looks around, he's like, oh, this is nice, peaceful. Maybe things won't be so bad up here. And then he looks and sees Bran and she's like, oh god, I should have stayed at King's Landing.
In the wheelchair he put him in.
Yeah. He's like, oh shit, I should have stayed at King's Landing.
And I get that's supposed to be like a big, oh man, what's gonna happen now? Like he knows something's up with Jamie. Like he's gonna be a big part of this. That's why he was waiting for him, obviously. Yeah. But the way that episode ended, I feel like it could have ended with maybe the Jon scene or something. Like it hard cutting to black there. I was just like, all right. I mean, it's fine, but I feel like it would fit better if it was the Jon scene.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's gonna
it's gonna really come into play later. It's just
right. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens next episode. All right, cool. So that's this. I think the only final note I have is that this is definitely a big reunion episode because we don't have that many people missing in general, and because everyone's together, that means they're probably gonna die together too. So we're gonna hit something.
Yeah, it's coming. They wrapped up a lot of things too, not a lot of things, but they wrapped up a couple things that were.
They're closing some arcs here that if they died next episode, that's it. That's it.
Yep. I mean, you're on fucked.
Well, like I
said, ended right there.
Next episode's the last, I guess, peaceful episode we'll have because there's episode 2 is this coming week is Easter. Fucking hell.
Nothing says Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing says Christian
incest.
holiday like Game of Thrones.
Nothing says Jesus more than incest.
But we have that, and then the same weekend of Avengers comes out is we have the big battle between them and the fucking Night King. So that's gonna be the fucking half that. I'm saying it now. Half the fucking cast is dead.
Probably.
Nobody dies. Everybody lives.
That'd be the biggest shocker of my entire life.
There in the next 3 episodes is just them like chilling out. Like.
So they get prepared for the big battle, and just the Night King steps off his horse and gets like his foot stuck in a spur, falls, and just hits his basically goes full $6 million baby. It just falls and hits his neck on a piece of dragon glass and dies.
$6 million man and $1 million baby combined. $6 million.
All right, so that's this episode.
I thought you cut it.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Bye.
You got reactions posted every.
My 2 favorite characters fucked in this episode. And, well, Bronn started to. He didn't finish, but whatever. I just wanted.
He tried.
Drop it. He tried. He was getting. He technically he did. He just didn't finish. So.
Which sounds worse.
I got reactions.
Yeah, so you got reactions. These go up every Monday for the next 6 weeks or 5 weeks after this, I guess.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Goodbye.
What?